Okay, so I'm going to be doing a VOD review for Peacemaker. I believe they play Winston and Ramatra the vast majority of the game. I watched all of offense so far and some of defense. So these are the only characters I saw for reference. You said you wanted to look at the first top two replay codes, and this is the second one. I'm not entirely sure if this is one you meant. Because you mentioned that the games were Hanaoka and Oasis and your title, but that's beside the point. You know, any game is fine to look at, in my opinion, as long as it's not a stomp one way or another. Like this game isn't. Obviously, it takes a while to go on. So, um, it says just looking through here, you're looking at not much more to say. um, yeah. So I think your primary three issues right now that you're struggling with is first and foremost your cooldowns and how they're used need to be optimized still quite a bit. Especially on Ramatra, right? I guess you're a Ramatra main, just based on the rest of your post. Regardless, you kind of have a tendency to blow cooldowns for no reason a lot of the times, especially on Ramatra, which is kind of surprising because I had the intuition that you're a Ramatra main, right? And to make a long story short, you're wasting them a lot of times on the enemy wrecking ball, right? Like I said, I haven't watched the whole game, and I'll kind of demonstrate like fight or like usage by usage and fight by fight what I mean exactly by this. But you really do not want to be using cooldowns on the enemy tank, especially like wrecking ball that can just literally move away from them as easily as you can, as often as you are, right? He's just getting a lot of value in taking like 100 damage and just rolling through, and that allows the rest of his team to walk in, right? Um, Secondly, I think you really need to work on like, I guess, positioning slash like tank 101, right? Um, Usually as tank, this kind of like builds off the first point. You want to be not trying to match the enemy tank as much as you possibly can. It's more nuanced than this, and you do this by like forcing good positions for yourself, and forcing the tank to either force you off that good position, or swing and like engage too early, and you can just hold the rest of the team out, right? So again, this is something like kind of like target priority positioning kind of issue, kind of melded into one. Um, you should be looking to deny the tank's follow up, which means, you know, literally their support, healing wise, and any follow up damage they get from around corners. And this is, you know, in principle easier on defense, because they have to be the one that swings the corner, not you, right? So, and thirdly, I think you need to stop taking so much poke damage, especially in Winston, right? You have give me 1 second here. You have a tendency to eat a lot of damage in neutral for no reason and force your supports to heal you and use a ton of cooldowns, right? So part of this is just not peeking the enemy so much, right? Before you're ready to jump. And two, right? You're just kind of forcing your supports to follow you on the map a lot, which is really problematic. So, nope, I'll get into it. So, starting Winston, I think Winston's pretty decent on this map, especially first and second. Third point, he's kind of trickier to play because it's more enclosed. But, you know, I'm saying this because I don't know exactly what characters you play. But I think Winston's a pretty good choice here, if you're wondering. Here, right? I don't really think there's a reason to jump lower right now. I don't think it's like the end of the world. Oh, sorry. Just to get out of their LOS sooner. It's not like bad, but if you want to do this, right, you shouldn't be jumping here. You should be jumping here, right? It makes all the difference. And I think it's perfectly okay not to want to jump high ground, because they have a mercy pocketed whatever echo and the hazard. If he jumps, you can boop you around and make it really annoying for you to do anything right now. So just if you want to jump here, what I would have done, I don't usually play dive takes. I probably would have walked all the way here. um, just from this path, kind of where your team's going, right? But if you want to do this, right, just jump here, right? So now you're LOSing literally the entire team, and you have options to like get on their backline right here, right? You can see these two are split, and when they're on Mercy, like the correct call is just perma dive the other support, so the Mercy is forced to like stop damage boosting whoever she wants to pocket, right, and save her support. And you can, you know, more or less kill two birds with one stone that way, right? That's why, in my opinion, Mercy is not a very good character. She's just very vulnerable to a lot of stuff. But that's beside the point here. So you kind of like overjump this, and you see how much damage you take. Now you have no armor. You just lost like 250 health. I mean, more or less. I mean, that was mostly armor, so it's even more. But it's beside the point. Like, you just pretty much blew a third of your HP for no reason, more or less, right? And you're LOSing your supports, mind you. But I swear, if you literally just jumped over here, like nothing, your teammates could easily just walk up all the way here for free. You know, have cover here to play around, and they can easily heal you from, like, imagining if you're right there, they don't have to peek the enemy team. Or they could play back here, you know, if their Ana wants to, like, snipe. She can snipe the people high, she can like heal you, but now she has to swing all the way wide out here, and your Curie also has to swing wide, right? And just that small mistake is just like forcing your supports to swing super wide to heal you, and you don't have armor to engage, right? Here, when you're weak, you should just wait to get healed to full. No reason really not to at this point. But I think it's good fundamentally that you're trying to get on the more isolated people, right? I'll note, this tank is making the same mistake you keep making, right? He's jumping back and allowing your, and this is kind of foreshadowing for you on defense. He's jumping back to you, and look what your entire team's doing, right? Your entire team is allowed to take this angle for free through main, right? And like, I mean, I guess their Echo is low and she had to back up, but the tank backed up for no reason, right? If he was smarter, he should be paying attention and you know, this is foreshadowing. That's why I'm taking so long, just to show you that he's making the same mistake you are by like focusing the enemy tank here, especially when they're on dive, right? I mean, it's character by character specific, but this tank should have noticed that your Curie has no teleport. I believe she used Suzu earlier, or maybe she just used it right now. Yeah, so she used it earlier. That's what I thought. I thought I saw her use it. So your backline's actually killable right now. If he sees you do this in bad engage with no armor, your Ana used her nade to keep you up, right? You have no armor here, and you just jumped in the backline. He should have been able to read the situation, just drop on your backline and kill 3 immediately, right? And you just would have gotten, you maybe killed the Ana here or someone, but the Mercy reses it and your entire team dies, right? So like, that small mistake you made has like a compounding effect, but he's also not playing correctly, right? So, but regardless, right? I mean, you're in this situation, right? I think you're making the correct calls at this point, so. Alright, yep, jumping the huge group. I think it's fine. Cut it a little close, but that's alright. Get the intro pick and team runs in. Foreshadowing, again, right? I'm sure you can imagine how much harder that would have been if the enemy tank just held the corner, right? It made it hard for your team to run in. Just, yeah, you get a decent engage, right? Like I explained, it wasn't great, but it was easily punishable. But the enemy tank trolled just like your entire team run in. Here, right? No need to just be peeking the Ana so much, right? If you wanna, I don't really like jumping here. Like, you can't do anything. You can't zap anyone, right? And they can just sit in here and shoot you for free. And your teammates have like really bad LOS, right? Like, someone's gonna be card, probably your Ana. So you have to keep in consideration where the card is. You know, Cass doesn't have any movement. Genji's damage is very inconsistent, so like this Sojourn should be able to farm you kind of for free as you rank up, right? And you can't do anything in return. So what I would do is either take here, right? Take up here and stage, right? Wait for the card to move up a little, or like take top right, right? 2 options. Just jumping here is kind of useless because you'll just get blown up and literally do no damage in return, right? So you drop anyways. So you kind of like, I guess, figure. Again, you know, taking unnecessary poke there. You figure it's probably not great to jump there. You see what I mean? Cooldown wise, you're just kind of jumping a lot and just like running away from where you jump, right? I do like this play. You see this guy use his jump and he uses his block for kind of, or his, you know, whatever wall for no reason. And you literally just sit in the doorway and body block him. Good play there, right? He overextends. You punish him. Here, right? I know maybe you're trying to guard the res. It's Winston. You saw your entire team was there, right? I mean, minus your Ana, obviously. I trust your team to guard the res in this position. As Winston, I'm pretty sure you actually mathematically are going to have a tough time killing Mercy. It'll be close before she can res anyways. I know if you like jump and like shock her or whatever and hit like the actual combo, you'll kill her. It's something you have to be confident with. But my point is you should be able to trust your team in this position to not let the Mercy res and try to push your advantage, right? It's alright. Yeah. Zap the people a lot. Here, right, you should be opening up the angle for your team, right? Right now, all this Echo has to do is fly literally right here and spam this doorway, and your team besides you can never walk, right? You get out nade, you get out stickies, right? So this is an opportunity. I mean, you trade Suzu for it, but that's okay. This is an opportunity, for example, to jump over here and open up the angle, right? You can still get healed by your Ana. You can LOS the Sojourn, right? Jiggle peek this or whatever, and you stage here, and you can like zap the whatever Echo, but this forces the Echo to have to worry about two angles, right? Because you know your team is with you, and you don't want to like stack the same angle with your team if you don't have to, right? 'Cause now you see like how tough this is. I mean, yeah, your cast hits good shots there, and you do some damage to her, but you could have literally done the exact same thing if you just jumped over here. Either you bait the Echo's attention, or you don't, and you can just zap her for free, or hold off, the rest of the back line or something like that, right? You have options, and if you start getting too low, you just, walk down here, you drop down here for Mega, you just drop down main, you have options. But I don't like just sitting in this doorway stacked with your team, right? That's kind of just cast walking main. He uses your distraction there to get the pick on the Echo, but he could have done the same thing if you just jumped to the other side, right? And you would have been staged in a better spot now. It's okay. Jumping a little dangerous there. Again, you're kind of jumping without your resources, right? Just wait to get healed to full. No reason to rush this, right? You just picked the Echo, and right. Just wait a second. Well, there's no reason to rush this. It's my point. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time explaining that, but again, it's okay, right? They're kind of making their Ana have a difficult time healing each other. I'm sure you can see how close you cut it, kind of no reason. Just missing that much HP puts you in a bad spot, right? Here, I ignored this guy. I would have jumped to Ana earlier. You actually saw her a few seconds ago. Right here. Actually, you saw it way earlier than that. Let me go further back, actually. You saw her right here, right? You should know she's there. Don't even peek this since you're so low. Just get healed by your team. It's okay. I would have jumped on it a little sooner there. Skip forward, nothing's gonna happen here. So here, skipped a little too far forward, unfortunately. Here, you gotta understand that your Ana is gonna play cart, right? So when you extend beyond like here, she can't heal you. One thing you can do is jump up here, scout, right? Because your Ana can still heal you, so it's not, and your Kiri can heal you without teleporting in or whatever. You want your team to like fan out and take angles so you can like collapse on people. Unfortunately, you wouldn't know the Sojourn's that low. I actually didn't know either. It's a little strange she is. But that's beside the point. You don't want your Kiri like constantly teleporting you because you're like LOSing her. As you rank up and she just blindly teleports in like this, right? What'll happen is that whomever is shooting you will just stop shooting you and turn to the Kiri and kill her instead, right? So you have to be careful. Obviously, right now it's not going to happen because no one's here. Something to keep in mind, right? This is perfectly fine because you're healthy, right? You see this guy get on you, yeah, just jump away, walk away, right? You don't want to be fighting the tank as Winston the vast majority of the time. Pathing was kind of bad, just kind of force out nade. I'd go up and jump with your Genji, right? He has blade, so you want to be staging with him. Honestly, you probably should have been here, like I said earlier to begin with, like right up here. And again, right, if you're here to begin with and they start pushing you, you don't need to jump, drop down and jump back up. You could have just kept backing up this way, right? Play here, LS them this way, right? You can see how like strong this position is. If they want to peek you, they have to kind of like allow the Ana to heal you and just get zapped around this corner. Or just hold their position, right? And you just wait for ults, right? Wait for an ult engage, wait for someone to overextend, jump on them. Like I said earlier, just kind of wasting your cooldowns, right? You have this habit of jumping high ground and it's dropping for literally no reason. If someone isn't pressuring you, you don't want to give it up that easily. Again, I'm sure you can see how dangerous this is for your Kiriko. Honestly, I don't know why she teleported in. No one was low, but that's okay. Here, I'd be ignoring the Mercy, right? Unless you're very confident in your primal mechanics, maybe you can like jump zap her, hit primal, and like jump in the air and like swat her down. It's way more consistent, right, to do what you did first fight and just go after the Ana because she literally can't move. And you have primal, so you're not gonna die, right? Even if you get slept, you just primal and you're back to full HP. And you have shield too. You have a shield, I should say. I should have been paying more attention to how you use the shield. That's alright. So whatever. Not that important. Here, you really gotta be going for the Ana, right? Ana's dead now. Here, once their Ana's dead, right? I'd be chilling. Their Mercy's and Valk, right? She's a really hard target to kill. Just be patient. Okay? And you know they nanoed, I guess they nanoed the Mercy. Just literally jump up here, which is fine, right? And just like walk here, right? You can get healed by Curie, get healed by your Ana. If you really need to, you can drop, right? You're not doing anything right now anyways, except taking damage. You already forced a slide from the Sojourn, so like there's nothing you can do, right? If they use their movement cooldowns, you just gotta let them go, okay? Right? Now you overstay your welcome and eat all this damage and force a lot of attention from your supports, right? Get nothing in return. Again, if this guy jumps in, here I'd be ignoring him. Kill the Mercy, right? You saw the beam. Look how close she is. Like, what is this troll? If this guy jumps in the middle of 5 players with both their cooldowns, he's just gonna die anyways, right? Whether you shoot him or not. What you should be doing is shooting the Mercy so she can't escape, right? If you're zapping her already, you just jump after her when she uses her guardian, right? She probably dies here anyways, so that's fine. Yep, just chasing this guy is fine. It's fine. One thing you could have done is just hope your team forces TP and hope she teleports in a bad spot or something, right? But I think that's perfectly acceptable. Whatever, that's a small optimization. Here, I'd be looking to get off cart. You already have 5 on cart. What you should be doing is like jumping high somewhere, like up here, for example, or up here, you know, splitting from your team so you can capitalize when the people walk through the chokes, right? As tank, you really want to punish people as they walk through chokes and not let them walk in for free. Here, now you're just kind of zapping the ball, which is useless. And unfortunately, your Genji feeds. But I'm sure you can imagine. And now you just jump into like a Reaper. I assume you weren't paying attention to what swaps they were making, which it's okay. It happens sometimes. But you should have been in a better position to be able to scout what they're rolling out as anyways, right? If you're just literally set up anywhere, except for cart. Yeah, I think it's okay to be cart there, actually. I take that back because it's so close to capping and their spawn's so close. But you don't want to, my point is you don't want to be jumping this early, right? Because now you're in a bad spot. You're gonna primal and not get value out of it. Unfortunately, I kind of made a mistake. I didn't realize that their spawn. I'm not really used to like how fast they respawn with like the group respawn now. So I think actually I take it fully back. You should have been the one on cart. Your team should have been playing in a better spot off cart, so they don't just get rushed out of spawn. This fight's really not on you. Unfortunately, they just have to know they can't do that. Yeah, they just get run out. You know, they pop a ton of ults and just run on your team. So that's all right. You know, it happens sometimes. You're coming back again, chasing the ball. You see how like futile this is, right? You're doing okay damage to him, but he can literally go wherever he wants, right? You can't chase him. You see, he just fireballs away, and you wasted your shield and vortex on him, and pretty much accomplished nothing. Imagine if you had vortex right now, and he just slams in the middle of your team, and you vortex him right now, so he can't run away. He just dies, right? Even with his adaptive shields, whatever, he still dies. Again, when you see the ball, like he slams in and immediately runs away, right? Like he's basically committing nothing to his engages, and he forced out, or you decided to randomly use your Nemesis form for absolutely no reason, right? Your cooldown usage on Ramadra is like really, really punishing, even compared to Winston, right? Again, right, if you see someone on your screen, just put a shield down here so the Reaper can't lifesteal and can't push you, right? And just shoot the Reaper, or just peek wide and shoot whoever's here, right? Don't ignore the Reaper because he can farm you, right? Just force him away, or force his wraith and then go after his back. It's fine. Good kill. Decent. This is fine here, just trying to stay alive. I think it's okay to try to stay alive. Definitely risky because your entire team just died and they have spawn advantage. I think if the ball was better, he would have killed you. But you managed to wait out long enough, right? Honestly, I almost wouldn't have even shot the ball and just ran straight towards the mega there. That's okay. You're rotating high is okay. Aim could be a bit better. You're just kind of like not synchronizing your movement and your like mouse aim. In principle, a Reaper should be really easy to hit. Let me show you in like slow motion because his head like does not move when he strafes, right? Like see how his head's basically always at the same level no matter how he moves? In principle, Reaper should be like one of the easiest targets to headshot, and you're like not synchronizing moving your mouse and moving your movement, right? As tank, you can get away with mirroring people's movement a lot just because you're way more HP, right? So don't be afraid to throw up a shield and either just sit your crosshair at one position and do your best to like mirror the Reaper's movement, or just literally stand still and do your best to track him, right? Obviously, as you get better, you'll like be able to streamline it so you can get even more damage by like doing both at the same time. But you're just overcomplicating this right now and just missing out on a ton of damage. Right? Here, no need to drop into a minefield. I would have probably backed out if 2 of your teammates died. Here, 2 of your teammates were dead, right? No reason to pop ult, right? I guess your Mercy just reses your Ana, right? But you have no support right now. And you just ult into a Kiri rush, right? When you have no support, right? Because you know 2 people in your team are dead. Your cast just died, so you have no damage. And you're just like staring at 3 people and you have no backup. That's my concern. So you're not going to kill anyone here. Just die as a result. You're just kind of wasting your ult. I think if you had a full team, I think using your whatever, the ult's called, Rampage, no. Annihilation, yeah, that's what it's called. Using your Annihilation would be good if you had a full team, but the problem is you were just down 2 at the beginning of the fight, right? At the very least, you bait out 2 ultimates, so that's okay. Go a little further back here, make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm sure you can see because you die at a really awkward time. Now your team's fighting a 3v5 again, and they're just probably going to stagger here again, unfortunately. I think you kill your Genji there. That's a little unfortunate. Just kind of run into him, right? Probably not, yeah, see, like everyone's staggered, just kind of run and die. So at least you force out the Echo ult. I mean, that's partially your team's fault for not backing out, but that's also partially your fault for just extending when you were in a 3v5 like 2 fights ago in the first place, right? So a lot of times as tank, you can make mistakes like that bait your team to keep fighting when it's really not winnable, and they just keep like continuing to make mistakes afterwards, right? I wouldn't even be peeking right now when their Echo is still in ultimate form, right? Literally just wait it out. No reason to be peeking right now. Your team has to respawn anyways or like regroup. Just wait for it to expire and then push. Just giving here like free value. Again, don't waste the cooldowns of the ball. You see, you just waste your vortex on him. He literally just runs away, eats like 40 damage and just leaves. He's kind of like baiting out cooldowns for no reason. Here, probably should have known that Echo or Moira was behind. I actually don't really play with headsets, so I probably wouldn't have heard the Moira either. I don't know if you do or not, but like, if you do, you should have known she was behind, right? Not a great shield here, right? No one was shooting you except the Kiri, and the Kiri just teleports away when you put the shield up. And I always mention, right? Actually, I think the Echo may have been spamming you. If the Echo's spamming you, I wasn't paying attention because I was so distracted with the Kiri and the Moira just flanking for no reason. Right, if the Echo's shooting you, like, if you shield and shoot her from this range, all she has to do is, like, go to your left or her right. And likewise for you, all you have to do if you don't want to get shot by the Echo is go right side, right? You want to be peeking, using your shield to swing wide around corners so they can't back up as easily, right? It's this general thing, right? Imagine if the Echo is, like, right here, for example. And you swing this corner like right here and throw down a shield and just start spamming her, like she's in a much worse spot. And if you put it down here and start shooting her, because her like rotation away to cover is so much like quicker. A little bit of a Hail Mary there. And me just get out of it too easily. Probably clean up the aim a bit there. Yeah, no reason to be moving so much. If you're finding you're missing a lot of your shots because you're not synchronizing your movement and aim, right? You can literally sit here. You don't even have to move, right? Literally no one else except the Reaper can shoot you on your team, on their team. I guess the ball can take an angle, right? But that's beside the point. And you can literally just stand still and take like 0 damage from the Reaper and just force them away for free, right? No reason to overcomplicate these things. That's an okay slow. Again, kind of a waste of a shield. You kill their ball, I'd be looking to go on their backline, right? Look how, I think you were right here. Look where their backline is right now. If instead of like backing away, I don't know why it's so funny. I've never seen that before. This looks really goofy. Okay, instead of looking at the DPS, you should just be looking to like block their support and like hoping your team just wins the 4v, the 2v, or the 4v2 right now, right? If your team just gets wiped by a Reaper ult, it is what it is. But you don't want this to happen, right? Now, I think you get the Curie, but the Moira lives. Here, I'd be expecting the Moira to like fade back to respawn. If you just went after their backline sooner, the DPS would have fed because they had no support anyways. And you'd probably be able to get both the supports too, right? Instead of just the Curie. Here, again, ignore the ball. You just saw the Moira shoot an orb to your side. Like, look how bad her positioning is. If you literally just looked at her, you'd just be able to like force her fade and run after her with your thing, right? The ball is just never gonna die, right? I guess if he does die, it's not because you help your team, it's because he just jumps in your team in a 4v1 because you're blocking all of his supports, right? Or all of his like follow-up is what I mean, right? Giving way too much like attention to this ball. You see, like he's literally not taking damage. I mean, he's obviously taking damage. Like, look how little damage he's taken just from you shooting him, right? You and the Ana have been shooting him, and like nothing's happened. But if instead of shooting this ball, you literally were just helping your Genji shoot the Moira would be dead right now, right? Your Genji would live. The Genji probably wins this. Like the ball is not doing anything. And because you're focusing so much of your attention on this ball, the Reaper just, I assume, teleports in for free. Carry gets a free Suzu on him, right? And they just surround your team, right? Because you're focusing so much on this ball that's like unkillable for you, right? You're never going to kill him. You're just not on a character that can kill him. The rest of his team's just allowed to run in, right? I'm sure you can see that's kind of a recurring theme here so far. Right, I think this is probably the end of offense, right? Yeah. So, skipping forward, defense here. I don't like the shield, right? Really, I mean, it does literally nothing except stop them for shooting for like a few seconds. And by a few seconds, I mean like 1 or 2. If you just wait for them to peek and then put down a shield here, if they overextend like this way, you can shoot them. Or just wait, right? You have no reason to like commit cooldowns right now. So just wait out the Discord. This is fine. I think it's okay to shoot the ball here, right? You can throw up a shield so you can't get shot by the people here. Just shoot the ball. Really, you could have, even now, like, you could have maybe vortexed the ball because you have an Ana Zen now, which is a lot more dangerous for the ball because if he gets slept in Discord, he just dies. If you slow him, right, you don't have the cast anymore, unfortunately, which kind of sucks. But if you, like, just shielded here, shot the ball, he might actually die now because you actually have a backline that can deal with him. Offensively a lot better. You're kind of a waste, right? No reason to Nemesis here. You see this solo Reaper's kind of drawing you back. And look what that allows the rest of the team to do. Remember at the very beginning of the game, I said the foreshadowing thing, right? The Reaper just teleported in to like 4 of your teammates, instantly got his Wraith forced. And now he can't do anything, right? Without Wraith, he's just not a threat. And the ball was already weak, right? Because you saw him up here and you shot him a bit, and you saw he was already weak when he was running away. And they have not the greatest heals right now. Like I said earlier, now look at the positioning their team's taking, right? If instead you just realize that the Reaper's trolling, the ball was trolling, and you just held the line here and stopped these people from walking in for free, now someone on your team can potentially chase a Reaper or like farm the ball, and you can stop the rest of everyone else from coming in, right? Like, imagine if you literally just held the line right here and started punching these people in Nemesis, right? Just holding the corner and stopping the rest of the team from walking in is like what you want to be doing, I'm saying, right? Obviously, cooldowns could have been better used there. Not the greatest shield angle. It's okay, I'd back. And it's even. Can't play too far away from the corner, right? Just let your team stabilize for a second. Actually, no one on your team died. I thought someone on your team died. Oh yeah, someone just did die. Your Ana died, I think, right? Yep, so your Ana died, so you have to play slow here, because you have no heals, right? What you should be doing, play this corner, spam high, shield if you need to, just don't let these people swing this angle for free, right? Right now, right, like you're not doing anything, right? They can have an easier time peeking you because you're so far away from the corner, and you're gonna have a harder time controlling the angle because you're so far away, right? Which makes your shots harder to hit, and it makes you harder. It makes it harder for you to kite damage once your shield goes down. Like now, because you're in the open, this Zen is gonna be a real problem. Right? He just discords you for free, and he can peek you. Like look from his angle, how free it is, right? There's literally no one else on the screen except for you. Your team catches on that like since your Ana's dead, they can't sustain super well, so they have to play passive, right? And because you kind of let them in for free, this Ashe is allowed to take this angle and force them all away because your team kind of struggles against Ashe. But that's beside the point. Really, if you're just playing here, now the Zen can't take the angle, right? And if he starts shooting you, right, and you get too low, literally just do this, right? But now you're just stuck in the open with Discord and you have nowhere to kite except like all the way over here. And now you've just given up the corner and let them take any angle they want, right? This is like a big problem on defense for you. So you're just kind of letting this ball take too much of your attention again, right? And now, see, the problem, it's like the same exact thing that happened on offense against their team. They're just flooding in and taking any angle they want, when you should have been there playing the corner better to prevent this from happening. Now it's over, right? There's nothing you can do. They're wherever they want to be. Not to say there's nothing you can do. Maybe since you like recontested from high, you don't want to do that. You probably should have just recontested lower because your angle's much better, right? You know, you can shoot out here and shoot them a bit, whatever. It's not great recontesting this point, I'll add. But like now it just comes down to mechanics and them kind of like overextending. You can see like they just have too many angles and you just can't like block everything at the same time, right? I mean, part of it's unfortunate because your Ana died, but I'm sure you can see a lot of that's because you just gave up before. If you give it up, the fight's probably over. Anyways, so, right, the best thing you can do is stall for your team. Here, this isn't fightable. You're still down, players. This is way too close. Turn around. Yep, look at the Reaper here. Yeah, you guys are probably just gonna stagger here. I'd be looking to run out. I wouldn't have been fighting there in the first place. That's why I said it was too close like a few seconds ago. I just wanted to see like what you're doing in that fight now that you're already there. Yeah, your Zen was just overextended. You're down your Juno. You're down your Soldier. And your Genji was probably going to die, right? Because he's in the middle of like 5 players. So even if he gets a pick, the ball's just going to come in, boop him in, kill him. Steam, so hopefully you can live here. I think his shield's okay because you don't know who's shooting you from behind. You know, if the Zen discords you, might be a problem. It's fine. Just keep backing here. Probably should have kept blocking, right? No reason to stop blocking. Small thing, right? But the big problem I'm sure you can see is just going in with your team. That was just like in a 3v5 like 20 seconds ago. So you end up staggering super late. That's the main takeaway there. Sure you can see, right? If you just let your team kind of feed way earlier, right? I think they may have kept staggering, by the way. I'm not entirely sure. Obviously, I didn't watch. If you just let your team feed earlier and just set up like up here and control this angle, for example, the only one that's going to get you is the ball. You know, they don't have like the grace mobility. And if they commit on you early, just keep backing. Wait for your supports. You know, come back, hold this angle. Because you can at least stall the card, right? You can stop them from taking high ground for free. You know, you can spam card for a bit, right? You have options. But now the problem is for this recontest, they've had 3 on card the whole time, and like. By the time you touch card, it's going to be like all the way out here, which is not like a good position for you guys. Just because you stagger so late. Again, right, don't do that. No one else is shooting the ball. Don't waste your stuff on them. Here, right? Just staying out in the open for a little too long, right? If they Zen ult, literally just wait here. There's nothing you can do. Like, there's literally nothing you can do to kill people as Ramatra right now, unless your Ana hits a nade, and she's probably distracted by your ball. You should have that read. Yep, and there it is. So, yep, he kind of separates the soldier from, and probably gets this minefield kill. Just wait, no need to, like, push people. See, like, because you pushed too early, like, you push into Transcendence, right? Don't give their ults value. Let me go a little further back. Just to show you how silly this is, right? Like, what do they even Kiri rush, right? They Kiri rush, they bob, nothing. They Transcendence, I guess, for no reason, really. Like, the soldier uses Visor, but he's, like, in the middle of nowhere. He can't even see anyone right now, except the Reaper that has Wraith. But this is beside the point. Like, they just pretty much wasted 3 ults, literally just wait, right? If you really need to touch, throw down a shield, so you can just cross this area for free, and, like, you're already on cart, right? Like, if you just shield right here, you're already on cart and you take 0 damage right now. But right now, you literally throw this fight for fighting in a Transcendence, right? You take a ton of unnecessary damage, waste your shield, waste your Nemesis form, right? And this all goes back down to, like, the cooldown optimization thing, and you get nothing in return, right? You just are forced to ult and just die because you peek, and don't, like, get rid of the Discord orb first, right? So this is like an instant fight loss. A lot of really silly mistakes that fight, I'm sure you can see. Here, just backspawn. I don't know if it's still possible. I wouldn't be fighting here, right? I guess since your team's here, maybe you don't want them to die. They should have backspawned too. Again, ignore the ball, right? Stop chucking cooldowns at them. So it's a big takeaway this game. I will say, like, some tanks you do want to slow, right? If they have poor mobility, or you can, like, stop their mobility with the slow field, yeah, you can isolate them or, like, do a lot of damage. But ball, I'm sure you can see it's just completely ineffectual, right? You're just, like, throwing literally like 80% plus your vortexes at them, and it's literally doing nothing. Ball is a tank you really don't want to use the cooldowns on, unless he overcommits. And by overcommitting, I mean, like, slapping in the middle of, like, 5 players and just getting, like, chain CC. You don't really have any other options. As for Matra against ball, right? You just have to stop his backline. This is good. This is okay. It's fine. You can ignore the ball, like, he's not gonna kill you. I don't know why he stopped moving. But I'm sure you can see, like, your damage there didn't really impact the ball dying there. I mean, maybe it did. I don't know why he stopped moving. Let me see from his POV. I don't know why he did that. I don't think he... Okay, he just commits, like, no HP. So I'm sure you can see this ball is also making a lot of the same mistakes you are. Yeah, he just literally doesn't move. Okay, I don't know what that was. I thought maybe he got trapped by a Junkrat, but your team doesn't have Junk, so he just, like, stands still and instantly dies. I'm sure you can see, like, your damage basically didn't do anything there. He just gets blown up because he jumps in the middle of, like, your entire team. I would have kept peeking here, right? Just do your best to see if you can try to stagger. This is okay. Right, Zen discords you. Your instinct, if Zen discords you, is just to break the LOS as soon as possible, right? I mean, like, literally instantly, that should be your #1 priority. And then you can peek afterwards, right? See if there's a Discord. Here, I'd be looking to rotate high ground, right? Honestly, once the Kiri gets out and the ball dies, and you just see, like, they're all in spawn, I would have already been rotating through here. Upper, just to set up high ground so they can't take, like, this angle on your team, for example. Because you don't want them to be doing that right now, obviously, right? A little too distracted with, like, the micro to, like, explain the macro a little late, but that's okay. So now you can see, look how bad your LOS is on. Now you're kind of in the middle of the entire team. Here, right, just go in. Again, at this point, the only thing you can do, because your positioning sucks, is do your best to trade the backline. You bait out Discord from the Zen, you should have pushed him, right? He can't run away from you. You had an opportunity to kill him right here, right? Your positioning at the beginning wasn't great, obviously. This is why I'm mentioning this. Ignore what's going on there. Your only chance of winning this fight is just trading their backline and hoping you can slow down the push, right? Just kill the Zen. You can turn for the Kiri here. Unfortunately, yeah, it's a bad spot. That's okay. I think they use 2 ults. They use Kiri Rush and Minefield, and they use walls late for some reason. Losing fights to ults is usually okay, especially like 2+ ults. That's usually okay. Unironically, that was a good moment to slow the ball. It's like he was so low. That's a good chance to like you know, a few seconds ago to literally throw your slow field right here and just like destroy the ball before you can run away, right? Ironically, that's like one moment you could have actually gotten value just by slowing the ball. Okay, decent spam. Again, ignore the ball, right? You saw that the Kiri and Zen went this way earlier. Just run at them. Even if they Transcendence, right? You force Transcendence, and you can play to live afterwards. Zen can't do damage either, and you still want to fight inside of it. This is good here, right? Again, look for anyone except this ball. You can see he literally just runs away from you for free. Help your Tracer, Kiri go. Tracer is a great tank companion in my opinion. She puts so much pressure on the backline. If you use Helper and use her like value to chase a backline, I'm sure it's you see a lot of value on the range. Here, a lot of stuff happened very soon, but I'm sure you can see the mistake you made. Again, you're looking at this ball too much. He's just not killable. I mean, maybe you don't see the Reaper TP in. You see he's there, whatever. And because you're looking at the floor to try to stall the ball, you don't see this guy teleport. Like, literally, if you just ignore the ball here and see that this guy, look how like stupid this Reaper looks, right? He literally just is looking straight forward and teleporting, right? You know, there's only one, I guess 2 places he could be teleporting. One, he could be, you know, teleporting straight at the floor for literally no reason. Or he's literally teleporting right behind you guys right now, right? So if you just literally ignore this ball, like that split second that you, or like second or 2 that you're looking at the ball allows this Reaper to like come in and do this, right? Now he's in for free. Just ults you and the dude, the Ashe, so he just has too much sustain for you to kill. Swap to Winston. I will note that if you want to swap, I don't know if you play D.Va, I think swapping to D.Va for recontest is actually generally better than Winston, especially on points like this. I don't know what your hero roster looks like again. Because she has a much better mobility in these like enclosed areas, and 2, her sustain's way better, right? When you get to point, you can just matrix everything for like 3 seconds, so you take literally 0 damage, and just, you know, wait for your team to come back, and you have way better burst than Winston too, right? Obviously, if you're comfortable with it, go ahead. This is a better option than Winston, in my opinion, the best majority of the time. Here, okay, I would have looked to see where your Ashe bobbed, right? If you saw she bobbed point, I would have felt comfortable chasing the Zen. But if, like, literally just look back, glance for like half a second to see. But if not, then you're kind of stuck standpoint. I think it's okay. Just definitely, obviously, risky opportunity there. Zapping the Reaper's fine here. Yeah. Here, you can get off cart. Your Ashe is on cart. Well, I was gonna say you can get off cart because the Bob's there. Obviously it's risky against the ball, right? So, and I wouldn't trust my team to sit cart. This is fine, right? No biggie. What I would have done instead of jumping directly on floor, though, small optimization, right? If you have high ground, don't give it off for free. Jump up here. So you're an LS of your supports, right? If it's just a Reaper, he's not going to actually do that much damage from this far away. And you LS their entire team from main, right? You have, like, if you literally just sit here, you can see where they're coming from, but they can't shoot you, right? And this is important because, again, right, if you see they just pass underneath you and just don't respect the fact that you can just land on them, you know, literally drop on them without even committing to jump and zap both supports, then you can just instantly win the fight for your team. So you force them by playing high ground, you force the enemy team to pick it up, right? Definitely risky because the cart's so close to capping. But again, right, I understand why you want to play cart. But if you just didn't jump all the way away in the first place, and you just set up high ground to begin with, and you jump on the back, drop on the back line, not jump, excuse me, drop on the back line, zap them, see if you have to contest cart, right? If you have to contest cart, literally just ignore them, jump back to cart, right? And if not, you can just get the free kills, right? Because Zen is not going to heal the Kiriko enough, or you force TP, you force cleanse, right? And open up like a better opportunity for your team to win the fight, right? I think fighting cards here, not ideal, but you have kind of no choice. I definitely would respect your team. Just sit cart, right? It's kind of your tank's job. You have no other choice but to contest there. It's either the highest HP. It's okay, right? It's alright, but I'm sure you can see by using shield like this, you're not really doing any damage. But you will have it again. Time for the recontest, right? Here, you're just kind of like stuck in no man's land, right? You know, pick somewhere and stand there, right? You can hold this corner, see if anyone overstands. You know, stand here, look down, stand over here, right? You can, you know, see if anyone peeks this way. You have a lot of cover. The problem with standing here is like, look how many angles I can take on you right now, right? If the ball was shooting you earlier, you may have died here, and you're also, keep in mind, out of LOS supports. So using bubble there is not good. It's probably one of the contested card. Again, ignore this guy, right? You're never gonna, especially it's Winston, you're literally gonna take like probably literally an entire minute to kill a bull. I mean, if you're just standing literally here, like you don't have to do anything. You literally just stand here and hold down M1 and this Kiriko just dies. Or she forces all of her cooldowns. I guess no value up. Right? Now you're forced to burn your jump for no reason. Yeah, it's good. LOS the Zen thing. I think chasing the Zen's fine here. It's alright. I'm sure you can see, right? If you were just, because the cart wasn't too super close, right? It probably rolled back to about right here. You had time to play with, actually. And if you're just, like, contesting the Kiriko to begin with, instead of chasing the ball, you can contest the Kiriko, and then if the Widow decides to jump this for whatever reason, right? You just jump her, and she dies, right? Her team, or the Kiriko comes back and peels for the Widow, which means the Reaper and Ball don't have support on point, right? Again, don't let them take angles for free if you can avoid it. I know the card's close, but you also have Primal here, which would allow you to recontest card in a situation like this, right? This is pretty good, actually. Good Primal mechanics there. Yeah. Unfortunate. Maybe winnable for your team still. There are a few smaller things you could have done differently that fight. Okay, well, good hold regardless. Okay, so again, I think you really need to work on optimizing how you use cooldowns, right? I'm sure you could, if you just watch the VOD, right? You could get an idea of what that looks like per fight. I can't like generalize it super well, but you have a tendency to use them on the tank. For no reason a lot of the times, right? You always want a reason to use the cooldown to look to get maximum value from them, right? Secondly, I think you need to work on your positioning, / like trying to deny angles from the enemy team, right? Especially on defense, right? You're putting, this is also like bleeds into target priority kind of thing, right? You're just focusing on this tank too much and just letting the enemy team take whatever angles they want over and over again, right? And you can see, right, that's probably a common problem, because the enemy tank was doing the exact same thing. Right, and I'm sure you can see if you just deny the enemy team from taking angles, it's kind of like Tank 101, right? You'll see a huge boost in your win rate. And 3, right, you just have to stop taking so much poke damage. This is especially a problem on Winston. You just kind of take damage a lot of times and peak for no reason. When you should optimize like your pathing so you don't take so much damage. Okay, I hope this helps.